It was quite the scene when a 112-year-old schoolhouse left Kitsilano for its new home on the Squamish Nation.
Kwatin kwayach na an cha chow, eititi choch mahal.
The Language Nest, as it's now known, is for learners from babies to 3 years old and their caregivers. We had a chance to visit and meet with the people who make it all work and use their own language every day.
Sgsmål, Tinoyap, Nesta and Satalton, Queen Quishamin, Norman Guerrero, Queen Sna, Chinwa, Tzap, Nata, Tinawa, Insech, Nitum Tisnawayat. Good day, my ancestral name is Satalton. My English name is Norman Guerrero. I work for Tinawa Insech, Nitum Tisnawayat, our Language and Cultural Affairs Department, and I am the language manager for our department.
Sgsmål, Halat, Queen Quishamin. Kaya Williams, Queen Sna, Tinat Chan, Humulchison, Ochumel, Chinwa, Kokwalo, and Natas, Squamsh, Natat Sep, Sapeshkin, Squamish Chin, Yawan Hot Quins Quachinomiap. Hello, my ancestral name is Halat. My name is Kaya Williams. I come from our Capilano village. I am the Language Nest head teacher. And the nest name is Sgsmål. That means Voices of the Nest.
Kaya mentioned about our elders group, our late elders group, Tinawa Huneo and Ta'emets was the name of our elders group at the time, Teachings for Your Grandchildren. So a group of them, along with our teachers of the past, traveled to Hawaii amongst the startup of our language revitalization movement here in the Squamish Nation, and went to visit neighboring villages and specifically Hawaii and what our Polynesian relatives were up to at that time with their language movement and their well-known language nests that they have there. And it was their hopes and dreams to have something similar to what they had there here for our own people. And it's taken quite some time, but we're here now and we're able to say that we have our own language nest, mirroring what the Polynesian relatives have done over the last 50-something years, I believe. So not only in Hawaii, but in New Zealand as well, all throughout the Polynesian territory. They're really quite far and advanced with their language movement, and we're trying to mirror that as well. And so we no longer have first language speakers in our nation. Everyone has since passed on, so our late elder, Uncle Alex, passed away in January of 2020, just before the pandemic hit. His story is a really great story, sharing with us how he managed to preserve his language, because again, coming from that era, he was born in the 1920s. The residential school system was still very prevalent at that time. A lot of things were illegal for our people. And he was raised in the old Squamish way. He grew up in Squamish, and he was actually sent away when the Indian agents would come around. So he was raised at home with his family only in our Squamish. And when they would come around to pick up the kids to send them to residential school, he was actually told to run to the forest and hide. And he was able to take care of himself in the forest for those days when those agents would be coming around. And that's how he maintained his Squamish Nation, his Squamish language, and shared that with us. And again, he was our last elder from our elders group to pass on. And since Uncle Alex has passed, we haven't had any first language speakers in our nation for almost 100 years now. And so with having the nest here, this is our hopes and dreams for us to have those first language speakers be brought back. And so this beautiful home here is this place where it's going to be nurtured as a nest, as our Quaitnoch, our birds, do with their babies. So that's our hopes and dreams, and that's what our elders wanted.
Hatla nakushet up. Oh, how to max.
So the structure works is that they're open to come to either or. So what works for them is, families are busy, parents, moms are busy. Sometimes we have both mom and dad who attend, and that's amazing because then they're exposed to the language. And so they can come in the morning and they'll pop in, and then if they can't make the morning, they'll come in the afternoon. You treat it like as if you're at home. So it's, we're called Chishamane, which translates to be motherly-like. And then Sţwx's actually the one that thought of the name for us. And he said it just seems so fitting that you're like a second mom to our muntmunt who are being raised in the language. So anything creates language anywhere. So we're in the toy room, washing their hands in the washroom. Sometimes they even help gather food that they want to eat. So then we're speaking with the food, like helping us, sitting over at the carpet area, drumming and singing. There's so much language that happens here. It's like we're at home. That's the feeling.
Over on the couch is Sarah. She's been coming to the nest for a few years now, first with her son, and now also with her 9-month-old daughter.
What are you hoping for your children with this knowing their own language?
I'm really intentional about raising them as first language speakers. So everything that I do for their lives is really intentional. Where they go to daycare, where they're going to go to school, what we do in our outside time, and like what activities we participate in, even as far as like what toys I buy and what I have in my home, because like, can I talk about this in Squamish? And even naming them was intentional because I'm going to be speaking Squamish with them at home. I don't want English sounds to be the thing that's normal for them. So I think my goal for them is, well, I think my whole purpose of being a Squamish parent is to pass on all of the teachings and values that we have, and all of that is intertwined with the language. I can't pass on the values of the Squamish people, and I can't teach them about the land, and I can't teach them about our histories without including the language, because it's all based in the language. So I think my goal for them is to, and I'm doing it, I'm giving them the life I always wanted but never got to have. So they're growing up in their language, growing up in their community, growing up in culture, growing up on the land, and knowing all of the aspects of language that go with each of it.
The Language Nest is a place of learning. You feel the power and importance in every corner. But it's also a place where children and their caregivers feel welcome and free. The little ones inside have no idea how long it took to get here.